Good morning, everyone. This is Dana from Gen, and this month is Mental Health Awareness Month. So I thought it would be a good idea to write down 31 things that I am doing to improve my mental health. Now, some of the things I've done for a few years, and some of them are new. So I would like to share them with you. In previous videos, I discussed my challenge with getting adequate rest. And not getting enough sleep affects my mental health. And I needed to be well rested and ready for the day. So for me, getting adequate rest meant I had to actually plan 10 hours in advance. For example, I stopped drinking caffeinated beverages 10 hours before I went to bed. So if I plan to go to bed at 9 p.m., I would stop drinking caffeinated drinks by 11 in the morning. Now, the 10 hours is generally the amount of time required for my body to clear the caffeine out of my bloodstream and eliminate the stimulatory effects, because that's the reason why I'm drinking the caffeine. If I do have a cup of coffee in the morning, I actually switch to green tea later in the day. And also, I'm trying to increase my water intake. So 10 hours before I plan to go to bed, I make sure that I stop drinking caffeinated drinks. And if I have a big meal or drink alcohol, I do that 3 hours before going to bed. So let's say again that if I plan to go to bed at 9 p.m., I'm going to have the big meals at least 3 hours before that. Now, this helps me avoid having heartburn or interrupted sleep. And I cannot remember a time outside of my pregnancy, which was once, where I ever had a challenge with heartburn. Now, alcohol may make me feel sleepy, but it impairs my natural sleep cycle and it interrupts my valuable deep sleep, which is very important. Now, I don't usually drink alcohol, but if I do, I will try to make sure that I do it 3 hours before going to bed. So anything that's work related, like taking phone calls, checking emails, reading reports, or thinking about the next day, I stop doing that 2 hours before I go to bed. And when I'm working a big project, I have a challenge with turning my brain off. So to help me with that, I do what they call a brain dump. So what I'll do is I'll take out a piece of paper and a pen. And for about 5 or so minutes, I'm going to write down any work problems I'm having, tasks that I didn't get done, and anything that needs to be done first thing in the morning. So I'm writing it down, everything that's going through my head, and just getting it all out. Then I take that piece of paper and I put it away, and I just forget about it the rest of the day. Most of it can wait until tomorrow. So that way I'm actually clearing my head. So when I was working, this is before I retired, I would actually do it at least 30 to 45 minutes before I leave for the day. And then that way, when I come back to work, I have it laid out as to what I'm going to be doing that day. Now that I'm retired and of course, I still have the business, I'm doing the very same thing. So I'm actually writing down all the things that I didn't complete that day, any challenges that I may be having, and then what I'm going to be doing the next day. That way, it's all out. I don't have to think about it anymore. And with that, I'm turning off all electronics before going to bed. And what I mean by that is I'm not bringing the electronics in my bedroom, if you will. And that's because the screen's blue light makes it difficult for me to go to sleep. So to make it easier on myself, I actually put the electronics in another room. Most of the time it's in the kitchen. So the last hour before I go to bed, I'm actually reading real books. I'm meditating, but I'm not using the phone or the tablet. And the room temperature in my bedroom, I try to keep between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit. And that usually helps me with having a good night's sleep. And I also stopped using an alarm clock. Now, before I retired, I stopped using the alarm clock. Now that I'm retired, I let my body wake up naturally. And if for some reason I have to get up at a certain time, and I even did this when I was working, I actually have it set up to where my phone this is a landline, this is not a cell phone. It actually will ring at whatever time I need it to. Now, when I was working, I would have it ring at, let's say, 5:30 every weekday morning. But now that I'm retired, the only time I think that I actually have to get up at a certain time is when I want to move my vehicles before the company comes to cut my lawn. And this is usually every other Monday during the cutting season. So that's the only time that I will, if you want to call it, set an alarm, or I actually have the phone call me at that certain time, whatever time I set up. Now, when the phone rings, I get up immediately. There is no snooze button, if you will. And if I want more sleep, instead of waking up later, I just go to bed earlier. And based on these changes that I've made, I've noticed, according to my Fitbit, that my sleep score is improving. And I'm also feeling better. And another added benefit that I've noticed recently is I'm actually and finally losing those stubborn pounds. I hope you found this information helpful. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And also, I have included additional information in the description below. Have a great day.